You can ask me.
So this come to us as a surprise to you, the Ferguson Commission, or were you given a heads up on it?
Not given any heads up at all, so it's a total surprise.
So any reaction to it whatsoever?
I mean, I think right now you see really as a framework, or not much even of a framework yet. So we're gonna have to wait till we see more. But I don't know anything, so I don't know what you're gonna ask me about it. And so
I just wanted to, first of all, get your reaction to what you heard today.
I wasn't even in here for most of it, so unfortunately they had it blocked for a while. So, but I was able to squeeze in for the end. But after I read it, I'll let you know. After I read the speech.
Were you not given advance notice to get over here to get a seat, or
No. So
Well, it seems like the governor's basically saying this is like a regional look, but he's naming it after your town. Do you kind of see that as appropriate or inappropriate or anything?
I've already told a few people here, if you're going to name it after Ferguson, then maybe you should let Ferguson know about it. But I mean, I've said from August 9th, August 10th on, this is regional issues. There are national issues at play here. I mean, there are definitely conversations that are way overdue, and I hope we're going to start having those conversations about social issues, economic issues, et cetera, racial issues. But you know, it's been termed the Ferguson Commission. Let's see how much Ferguson actually gets to be involved in it. So, the city or the government or the people. So,
is that a committee or a commission that you'd want to be personally involved with?
Absolutely. I mean, I've lived here for 35 years in the city of Ferguson. Been on the city council for a decade. So, I would love to be a part of all the issues that have been raised, and there's still other issues that need to be addressed and haven't even been talked about yet. All those issues. I mean, they need to have a dialogue outside of this crisis. We need to have a consistent dialogue and a continuous dialogue, not just in Ferguson, but across the region and across the country. I would hope that maybe here we can start a dialogue, put a framework together for a dialogue that makes some regional change and makes some national change. But I think we're going to have to wait to see what comes out of the governor's office and this commission first, or how they even put this commission together. So,
will you make a direct request to be on the commission?
I will request that the governor's office include myself, or at least some representatives from Ferguson.
are there any measures that you yourself, would want to suggest specifically for that commission?
Well, the city of Ferguson is doing it. We're working on our own measures, looking internally right now, as far as how we deal with policing and representative policing, and also community policing. Obviously, having law enforcement officers in our community be engaging of the citizens of our community, and creating that gap that we've been talking about, the gap that people talk about between citizens and law enforcement, especially young people in law enforcement, helping bridge that gap and bring, a closer relationship and better mutual understanding between those groups, because that's really what we've got to focus on from here on out. If we're going to have trust between law enforcement and trust between government and the people, we need to have a mutual understanding. And so we're having those conversations. We have a town hall tonight, again, just with residents, including the Department of Justice, that will talk about what our steps forward are in the city of Ferguson and how we, as a community, can work on those issues that our residents have identified with our community. Maybe that framework is something that the rest of the region and the rest of the country will eventually look at and adopt, but right now we're looking and focusing internally on what those things are that we can do.